All right, so here we have access to a hard-coded query to a data service. Ideally, we would like to be able to provide some search criteria for the movies that we want to be searching. So let's add a couple of things here. We would like to have maybe an input field, and then when you click on that input field, when you type into that input field, then you would display the content for that particular, the details for that particular movie. So let's work on that. If you click on a particular movie, then we might render the details for that movie. Right. So let's look at that. So what we could do is that when we render each one of these movies in the templates, we can associate a click event. Right, so that if you click on a particular movie, I'd like to go and fetch the details of that particular movie. Right. So let's do that. So if we bind a click on any one of these, we can invoke a search details, right, on that same component. So this might be find details, movie details. And we could pass along the actual movie of which we want the details, right? Where movie is the object that we are iterating over, right? So in that case over here, we can declare an event handler here, so that when we click on it, we can say let's go find it. So find movie details. And this will receive as an argument the movie. And here we can do a console just to make sure that we have received the information. This might be movie and then IMDb ID. Let's print that to the console. Let's see if that works. If I click on one of these, it says undefined. So I guess that's not the. Maybe it's capital IMDb ID. Maybe? Oh, there it is. So it's capital DB. So we could use that as part of a separate query to go fetch details of that particular movie. Right? So what we could possibly do is ideally all data access will be in a service. Right? Would not be here. I don't want to see any fetch in the component, right? That should be all encapsulated in the service layer. So that service layer might look like this. Let's go into the movie service, and here we can have find movie details, and it takes as argument an IMDb ID, right? And this could be a separate query, and the query might be something like we might declare a constant where you might have a constant called find a movie details, and this will be something like http : / very similar to this. So I'm just going to copy that, but it takes as argument the ID, the same API key, and this is the IMDb ID. All right, and we'll just replace that IMDb with the argument that gets passed in. Yes? All right, so we have that. Oops, what is it complaining about? Constant? Oh, that I'm not using it? Yeah, I'm not using it. So here we're going to do a var, a URL. It will be a constant. The URL will be the find movie details, and we're going to replace the IMDb ID. We'll replace it with the IMDb ID argument. And now we have a URL that we can use. We can do a fetch. We can do a return, fetch, pass in the URL, and parse the body to a JSON. So then this will be the response, and we're going to parse it, response.json. All right, so now that we have that, wait, what's this complaining about? Expecting new line or semicolon? Oh. I did put a semicolon. All right, whatever. All right, so I have an IMDb. Now the component can use that. Oh, it really is complaining. What's going on? Let? What don't you like? Do I have the typo somewhere? Semicolon, find movie details, return. Do I have a broken this, find, replace, then, response. Is it this here? What don't you like? Constant. This. Interesting. I don't see what's wrong with the syntax. Let's see if I can still use it. Find movie details. I think so, but where? IMDb API key at equal. I don't have that. URL. Replace. Const URL. Fetch URL. Interesting. Is the compiler complaining? Yeah. Ooh, it doesn't like const. A class member cannot have the const keyword. Really? Okay, let's leave it. Fine. All right. Okay, so let's go back here, and now I can use the service here. So this dot movie service movie service. We can do find movie details, and we can pass movie.imdb ID. And what we could do here is assign it to a local variable, maybe the details, maybe call it details here. We'll declare a variable here, details, and it will be an empty object at first. And we can assign it when it comes back. We can say, here are the details that comes from the server, and we're going to assign it to this .details equal details. Okay. All right. So on the template side, we could have a separate H3 down here with details. Okay, and display things such as titles, or maybe instead of the details, we can have here the actual title of the movie. So this could be movie dot title, or I'm sorry, details dot title. Okay, notice that right now I don't have anything, but if I click on Batman, it returns Batman Begins. Or if I click on this one, this is actually going out to the server and fetching the details for that particular movie. And we can look at the network traffic as this is going out to the server to fetch all this data. So if I click on Batman and Robin, notice that it went out to the server, it retrieved the details, and we're assigning it to a local details variable, and then we're displaying it down below. Plus, we can render all sorts of things: director, actors, ratings, production, the plot. So, for instance, we can display the plot down here as a paragraph, right? And so this would be maybe details.plot. So we have the plot down below. Maybe we want the plus any other information that we would want for that particular movie. Make sense? All right. And if you prefer to display this in two separate pages, better, right? But if this is functional enough, right, that everything's in one page, that's fine. Okay. If you were in web dev, I would demand that you would have a separate page. Okay, but here this would be perfectly fine. right? That this is functional, it works. You have the use case of being able to retrieve things, display content for details of one and whatnot. This is perfectly fine. Okay, make sense? All right. So the next thing would be that we might want to be able to display movies for a particular search, right? A search criteria instead of having this hard-coded query for only Batman, right? So let's do that next.